Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had this really right. That's why I put this stuff. We're building a satellite system to defend the nation, right? Let's see. And then kick everybody's ass at 72 years old. I mean, look at this, $8,000 morphine. I mean, how about, just get that, not to suffer. And there's an understood thing. So what do you want with the, I mean, excuse me, I comprehend. So, yeah, but you're right, licensing. Every city, county, said, what are you doing? Did this man say, I'll offer you $7 if single, and 15% tax, 20 years, right? Which else? And $15 is married. Nothing else. Nothing else. That includes the president. I mean, there was none. I mean, what do you mean? Let's see, manufacture, right. You have to, if anything, you produce a manufacturing machine that produces money. I think it is money. It says capital is money. Good point. This one's a peso. 32,000. Did like what part do you not understand of $7? Right, and prices start increase. Right, like well, everybody, well, even kids, you get a mortgage. I think a mortgage. But all the money was put in Venice, and it was going to be New York City. I think either that or the military. I was very young, maybe 7 years old. Yeah, right. None of this works. If I remember correctly, none of this works. You have to pay broadcasting fees. That's good. What scheme did you set? I mean, at one point, well, like you work 20 years and then you play with the computer now. I mean, I'm not being one. I mean, you learn the computer. Did you do that? I mean, according to them, this is impossible. Make a gay lesbian retail 80% less quality. Well, look at my shoes. I mean, you got a pair of scissors that can hold them so you can wear them. But if you remember correctly, that's the French cut, ain't it? Which was what? 9, 10, and 11, which is what are my feet, 10 and a half, right? That didn't work for me. If it was a 12, it would work. Just to walk around the house. But yeah, so that's the thing that started happening. Just a beauty. You're going to have a website across, yeah, and then how does this work? Right. So, in other words, cheating, stealing, and scheming. Even if it was trying to be a legitimate thing, it won't work, sir. Will not work. I mean, you ultimately, you have a good question. So it was including, right? Which is the registered dial site? No, right? Mm. I forget. I mean, I forget what it was. You would know. And is that a profession? After that, it was AT&T.com. Templates, well, the colors and all this different stuff. Like my eyes are all this stuff, and this is very difficult. I would think this was gray, blue, and grayscale. And so you asked us to come over here and help you. There's really something else. There's really something else. But yeah, I would have to after production, and the shelves all full. I mean, every so often go to production for the shelves, and then mining, right, which is produce energy and seeds. Go ahead. That's seeds and fresh food, right? I mean, seemingly it's good here, but you don't have to have food and refrigerator or anything else. And it's really difficult in retirement where people, yeah, it's really a nice idea, guy, but I don't know, like, what are you doing? What are you doing in a car? We're supposed to walk to the store for health and all kinds of things up hills. I mean, they plot and plan the whole thing. Is civil it's not like, so we started to understand. I see. So we would say it's certain they do what they want. That's a good point. Can I say that about myself? A little bit. I mean, which I got to just really, so I comprehend this peso, which is, I mean, you're in big trouble. You're in big trouble with that. Would you ever hear that? The educated people, there's a peso on, which I mean, go and you get that. No? I mean, that ain't even a possibility that works. I mean, right? There's no more trades when we work with educated people. It's not possible. I mean, you're imagining things. But anyway, yeah. How do you do? Excuse me. Good question. Which is what I got to when I got this age. This person, like I was in a coma for 15 years. If you don't stop, yeah, what was it like to be in a coma for 15 years? It, I would think you're running my med. I pay my insurance every month, don't I? Yeah, I do. I take it out of my check. I mean, for that, you would have to work and pay taxes. You would have to drive the check. Ultimately, drive the check there every Friday. Do we even have an office? Do we even have a school? So a lot of things would change it. And I think that, right, it was 52,000 cities. Like when I drove out to this guy, you see what I mean? You see what I mean? It was so, that's how you get, the door jobs broken off the gym. This is incredible. You have a bullshit. Well, you have a horseshit and bullshitting people. Are you not? I don't even think they knew it themselves. I mean, there's nothing out there. You're right, the grassy lands, the desert ranges, and all this stuff. But at a certain place, there is something there. Whereas you came up when real young to military and come up, if I remember correctly, RGB, wasn't Russia had developed a computer that didn't work. And the military took this and made the IBM, right? IBM did, and that you'll have to you take the spec. This is incredible. I'm really. You take the spec on this, make build your own computer system, print yourselves checks, right? Which not too many, maybe 6 cities. So, and if you look at these cities, I mean, what would you think? Maybe 20,000 years to build that. Then, as far as that report was, if it were true, according to structure people, maybe the last 100 years, and you rebuilt it, right? So in that lifetime, which I always ask if I could be born, there's no definite thing. You don't ultimately have to do it. If I walk around and tap my feet around faith across my chest, it's, I mean, it's quiet, it's peaceful, but it's really wicked. All the terminally ill people, all kinds of diseases. You see my shoulder? I really think that not cleaning the knee. How could they? Who could pay for $2,200 for a shot? All right, let's try it again. What The whole thing went through the government. They called me, they come. It took them 6 months. There's nothing you can do at this point if you made minimum wage or averages. What you could do is get Medicare and pay that. And then I had A, B, and D, I think, which was pharmacy. I mean, pharmaceuticals. I forget which. And all was changing at the present. So, and how would you know if you were in a coma for 15 years? But they wanted to prove a point to me. Not with that book. Such a bullshit story. We can bring people back from the dead, bring them out of a coma. It works a certain way. Which, I mean, is really interesting. Am I stupid? That's a good point. But it kind of like work. You know what I mean? It's just to see, just to show to me a point, which, right? And I had opened up as a movie making to us, and the light comes out of the sun. It's, light and darkness. Sound comes out and it becomes a solid. You know, they wanted to show me this. I wanted to know it myself in science. I think NASA, which before that was NASA, wasn't it? It was an agency and became administration, right? And all kids were questioning all this. You would have to take it away from you, take your industry away from you. My brothers are the same thing to me. Well, that's funny, Peter. Think real quick that somehow you didn't screw this up. I did. Yes, you ruined this, right? All right, Peter. You're on your own. There's nothing I can do. As an answer, I have to leave. You're all on your own. But thanks for everything. So there's a lot of things to think about. As far as this, the websites are all stuff. I would think if you can't do this. You have to have broadcasting rights. I think it's $24.95 a month through Tampa Bay. What scheme did I have? I don't even remember. I wish it's. I'm not going to accuse you of lying. I say I'm getting myself in trouble with this. But if you tell me I was in a coma 15 years, that's a good point. Now, Social Security was right. You have to every 17 was supposed to see if you get a check. That's if you pay taxes in the Justice Department program. You went to prison, did your prison time. You went to group mental health and drug and alcohol. And then who cut? I mean, people we work a machine shop. It's carbon monoxide. It's ferocious metal in your muscles. You know, and then you would have to have a doctor's note whether you can have a pack of cigarettes, which I mean, it's almost impossible not to. I mean, the pain is impossible. And so they have a hospital and they're supposed to shut them. And what if they don't? They call the police, bring the guy in here because I was working on the home theater system. It was not believed. It was from the West Coast, which they found around the world, 8,000-year-old nations, right? Even that family was 8,000-year-old family. It's a lot different. I mean, how would a young kid comprehend? There's no way to do so. What could you really, first of all, what do you mean teach you? Don't go out that door and go build your own 8,000-year-old family. I mean, who are you? I mean, really. So it's a good point.